70% of chief information security officers now report a negative view of their profession, a sentiment driven by the rising threat of personal prosecution, as the average cost of a single malicious insider incident reaches $13.1 million. Lumen Industries attempts to solve this problem through architecture. In the series Severance, the company relies on sterile, windowless hallways to enforce absolute physical confinement and keep its employees isolated from the outside world. The show uses subterranean bunkers and a surgical memory erasure procedure as a final defense mechanism against corporate espionage and the risk of whistleblowers. While physical isolation is effective for a television narrative, it creates a single point of failure in a digital economy. Relying on physical barriers leaves real-world executives exposed to legal liabilities that no concrete wall can block. Real-world executives protect themselves with a different kind of shield. They prioritize explicitly negotiated corporate indemnification and comprehensive directors' and officers' liability insurance to cover their personal assets in the event of a lawsuit. Many security leaders now demand reporting-triggered severance clauses. These guarantee an immediate financial payout if the board of directors attempts to alter their authority or reporting structure, providing a measure of professional independence. These legal maneuvers are a response to mounting regulatory pressure. The SEC now enforces a 4-day material breach notification rule, placing intense scrutiny on how quickly executives disclose VEGR incidents to the public. In this environment, severance acts as a conditional contract, a legal mechanism that uses financial incentives to ensure compliance and insulate the C-suite from the fallout of employee sabotage. On Lumen's severed floor, the primary technical defense is an elevator code detector and a pair of manual override switches. Yet, as the show's own lore reveals, these static, signature-based systems are easily bypassed by substituting characters or using physical workarounds. This chart shows behavior-based data loss prevention. Instead of looking for physical paper, it monitors endpoint telemetry, like copy-paste actions, blocking suspicious movement. With employees averaging 66 generative AI apps, this is critical. When a user pastes proprietary code into a public chat, the DLP filter instantly quarantines the data. Controlling the most sensitive systems require identity governance. Critical overrides are protected by cryptographic multi-factor authentication and role-based access control, ensuring only authorized personnel can trigger a system-wide change. Modern security focuses on digital behavior rather than physical media, monitoring how data is handled to neutralize threats before a single record is exfiltrated. When Lumen terminates a high-level administrator, they often allow the former executive to leave with their knowledge and access intact. Real-world offboarding is automated. Enterprise technology management systems revoke all digital credentials and cloud access the moment a dismissal is finalized. Companies also safeguard negative trade secrets, the records of failed experiments and dead ends, through intellectual property assignment provisions. These legal documents ensure that all R&D knowledge remains company property, regardless of what an employee remembers. Maintaining this digital fortress creates a significant operational burden. Security analysts spend an average of 15 to 45 minutes investigating every alert, many of which turn out to be false positives. These systems come with high secondary costs. Professional services and the labor required for constant policy tuning often inflate the total cost of ownership by 40 to 60%.
Before we dissect the eerie severed floors of Lumen Industries and how Hollywood thinks corporations protect themselves, let's talk about your real-world protection. In Severance, the company uses sci-fi tech to separate work life from personal life. In reality, you create that critical separation by forming a properly structured LLC. Most people start businesses as sole proprietors, merging their personal and business liabilities. That's exactly why one lawsuit could wipe out their personal savings and home. Your business absolutely must be a separate legal entity. That's where Northwest Registered Agent comes in. Northwest is the absolute best formation service for serious privacy. For just $39 plus state fees, they handle your entire LLC setup and include a full year of their premium registered agent service. What makes them elite is their privacy by default policy. They use their business address on all your public state filings, so your home address stays completely off the public record. This legal and privacy shield is non-negotiable. I've linked my full Northwest review in the description. Use my link down below to register your LLC today and unlock exclusive discounts. Get your real-world protection handled first. And then, let's get into the show.
Despite these layers of defense, the volume of alerts can be overwhelming. 70% of security teams admit that critical warnings are sometimes ignored because they are buried under thousands of routine policy violations. We see this defense in action through a documented incident. A dismissed employee retaliated by deleting 10,000 files from a company hard drive. The company's automated safeguards identified the activity immediately. The system halted the deletion, locked the hardware, and preserved the integrity of the corporate data before the damage could become permanent. This hostile act triggered the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. With the digital logs as evidence, the company initiated police intervention and moved towards severe criminal and civil prosecution. Because the former employee violated conduct protocols, they forfeited their entire severance package. The legal framework of their exit agreement allowed the company to immediately void all financial payouts and benefits. Lumen Industries represents a mid-century vision of corporate control, where walls and absolute secrecy are the primary defenses. In a landscape where executive roles are increasingly tied to personal legal outcomes, the combination of real-time digital monitoring and legal indemnity is what separates a contained security incident from a career-ending disaster.